Cooking with plants, vegan made easy.
Hi everyone, it's Anja from Cooking with Plants, and today I'm making maple glazed tofu with a no-cook apricot stuffing. So let's get started. First of all, I'm going to start with the glaze, and for this I'm going to mix half a cup of maple syrup, 1/3 cup of tamari, or you could also use soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, and 2 tablespoons of fig paste. You could also use fig jam or apricot jam, or even orange conserve, apricot jam. Any of those will work perfectly as they have similar sweet flavours, and as long as they're nice and thick, they're perfect for this glaze. And now give your mixture a good stir through. You could also mix this in a jar with a screw top lid and just give it a shake up, but I do like to just use a little pouring jug. It just makes it easy once you're ready to pour it over the tofu. Now that your glaze is mixed up, it's time to prepare the tofu. The tofu I'm using today is a firm to extra firm tofu. Definitely don't use a silken tofu because this will just turn to mush. So what I've done is just rinse these blocks under some water, and now I'm just going to dry them off using a tea towel, or you could also use paper towel just to remove any excess moisture. And you want to do that with both of these. The size of these is 500 grams each. So I've got the recipe for this on my website at Cooking with Plants, and you can print it there and use the conversions as well to turn it into an imperial recipe. So it makes it nice and easy for you. Okay, so these have been dried off and we'll cut them up. Now take your tofu block and place it on its side. I'm going to use a serrated knife, but as long as you've got a sharp knife, any knife really will do the job. And just cut through the center of this very carefully and keeping it very straight. And then just do the same with the other piece as well. Now is also a perfect time to preheat your oven and set it to 200 degrees Celsius or 400 degrees Fahrenheit. So now take your top pieces and just set them aside. And with the bottom pieces, get a fork and just prick some holes into both of these pieces. And you can do that on both sides. So with the top pieces of your tofu, or the pieces that were on the outside and are nice and firm, we're going to cut a crisscross pattern into these. So just cutting across like this. And then also going the opposite direction. And then do the same with your other piece as well. Next up, get yourself a packet of whole cloves. And what you want to do is actually put these into the corners of all of your cuts. Just push them down. So now that these are ready for the baking pan, just transfer it in. I've got a large baking dish here, so I'll just take these tops filled with those delicious smelling cloves and just place those in. And then also your base pieces going in as well. Ready for that delicious marinade to go over the top. Just give it another stir through before you pour it over. I'm just going to keep a little bit of that marinade just for the end to finish the glaze in the last lot of baking. But this is now ready just to set aside while you make your stuffing. For your no-cook stuffing, you're going to need 2 slices of bread that have either been toasted or are stale. And then just chop those into oversized thumb-sized pieces and place them into a large mixing bowl. Next, add in 1/4 or 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs, 2 tablespoons of chopped dried apricots, half a teaspoon of garlic granules, 1 teaspoon of dried basil, or you could use any herb of your choice, and just a little amount of salt and pepper as well. So I'm using about 1/8 of a teaspoon, maybe even less, each of Himalayan rock salt and some black pepper. To this mixture, I'm adding about 1/4 of a cup of vegetable broth, and then I'm just going to give that a quick stir through. And then I'm just going to add another 1/4 cup of broth to this mixture. And give it another stir through. So now that this is really well mixed and combined, just set it aside. Now I'm just going to rebaste the tofu and just pour some of that mixture that's gone to the bottom of the pan just over the top again, just to give it a bit of a freshen up before it goes in the oven. If you have time, you can marinate this for a few hours or even overnight, just to infuse those flavours even more. But as long as it has about 15 to 20 minutes at minimum, the flavours will start to go through that. Okay, so this is what it looks like after 20 minutes in the oven. It's smelling absolutely delicious. And now it's time to place on our stuffing and then put the toppings on. Get your stuffing and just divide that into 2. And half of the mixture will go onto one section of the base tofu. And just try to shape it as much as you can before you actually put it on there. It'll just make it a little bit easier. And then just spread it across evenly. And be careful not to burn yourself because this is very, very hot. And do the same with the other half. So now that the stuffing is nice and evenly spread, it's time to carefully lift the tops of the tofu onto the top of the stuffing. They just look amazing. Yum. So next, you'll be using the rest of the glaze mixture that you made at the start and just pour that over the top of these and just get into all of those little gaps and make sure that it seeps right through so you really infuse those flavours really well. And now I'm just going to mix the hot juices with that marinade that was just added in. And then I'll get some of that hot liquid and just pour that over the top. That just smells so, so good. Yum. And this is going back in the oven for another 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so this has been in the oven for another 10 minutes and it has caramelized beautifully on top. It smells absolutely delicious and I can't wait to have this for my lunch, and I'm going to give it a taste test right now. Okay, so I'll just get a sneaky little taste test bit from the corner here. Oh yes, it's holiday time. This is absolutely so tasty, so amazing. All those flavours, yum, so good. Oh, you have to give this a try. Whether you're doing Christmas cooking or any other festive holiday cooking, or you're just having a dinner party and you want to impress your guests, this is sure to do it. Now, I personally don't eat the cloves, so make sure you pull them out as you're eating this. Yum, really delicious. Give it a go and let me know what you think. I'm super excited about this recipe and I'm looking forward to sharing my next recipe with you soon. Don't forget to subscribe for 2 new recipes every week. Bye for now.